We've done artillery, we have done tanks, now to do versatile officers. So this is just going to be based on how versatile they really are and how good they are in general. So we're going to start off again the same as before. We're going to do early game officers first. I'm going to rank them, and obviously the timestamps below will show you where we can remove those early game officers. Now, pretty much all early game officers are versatile for the fact that you pretty much have a load of random units. So moving on, early game, guys, Percy is going to be S tier. She's one of the first officers you awaken, meaning she deals crazy damage compared to other officers early game. Then we have Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary is also a very nice offensive officer in that early game scenario. Moving on, I think we have got, it's one of these things where all of these early game ones, you're not going to be awakening any of them, so just keep that in mind. Moving on, I think we are going to put him in, honestly, the E tier. He's nothing crazy. Straight into F tier here. So, early game, these two officers are going to be used decently. I feel like early game scenario, we need to put it like that. This is the early game scenario. Now, obviously, this is based on you're using officers that are not awakened. You're not going to be getting their skills done other than these top two, because you're able to get them through the officer mission and the actual main mission storyline. So you'll be able to awaken those two officers. But the other three, you do not want to be working on their statues at all. You don't need them. Now, let's quickly rearrange it and get it back for moving forward. So I would definitely say something along the lines of this. We'll start off with this. We can always change and adapt them. Now, welcome back, guys, if you have obviously just clicked on the timestamp to come into the new and updated level. So, with that being said, I feel like we can move these two down, actually, and we'll put these first two here. Now, the reason I'm putting both of these at the same time is they were a limited time officer. They are both versatile officers, but you cannot get them anymore. And if you are lucky enough to have already had them, they're really not that good anymore. Maybe when they came out, they were at best an A tier, never an S tier in my personal opinion. But again, they're definitely fallen off quite a lot, and they're just not really that good anymore. Moving on, it looks like it's going to be a straight first officer S tier. Now, versatility-wise, she's amazing. She works great on artillery. She works great on tanks. She works great on infantry. She is all-round as a versatility officer amazing. But not only that, she is one of the strongest officers on the game, whether it be on an artillery, whether it be on a tank, and even in an infantry. Guys, she is so strong at what she does. 100% S tier, no doubt. Moving on, we have got the second S tier officer. Now, this officer is genuinely pretty amazing when it comes to just giving so much extra damage to whatever unit is on. It is a lounge officer, so bear that in mind, but definitely an amazing officer. Eagle, I still feel like Eagle, when it comes to his versatility, is great. He works really well on ATGs, which is an artillery. He works great on tanks, and he's okay on infantry. Nothing crazy on infantry, but he's still decent on infantry. So from a versatility point of view, he's definitely A tier. They are better off than him, hence why he's not in S, but overall, he still belongs in A, my personal opinion. Moving on, this is a very short list, by the way. Moving on, we have got Margarita. Now, I feel like Margarita, I don't know, I do feel like I'm going to have to put her in A, just because of some other officers that are coming in, if that makes sense. Now, with that being said, I think she's happily in A tier, but she'll be like, scratching between A and B, if I'm honest. Like, she's a good officer, especially if you're like a tank main, but like on artillery, I wouldn't really use her on artillery too well. Just not needed. So from a versatility point of view, she works on infantry though. I must say she does work on infantry. So from a versatility, she's not quite as amazing when it comes to working on all three. That's why I was potentially thinking of putting her in B tier, and I'm gonna keep her in B tier. Now, the reason why I'm gonna keep her in B tier is because when it comes to versatility, she's probably the same as Vox. Vox isn't that crazy when it comes to doing much. She's more of a versatile specific officer for one thing, and that is garrison protection. She's more of a garrison officer, but she is a versatile officer. So, because she's a versatile officer, she's on the list, and I think she goes in B tier because when it comes to versatility, she's only really good at one thing. So, in that retrospect, that's why I'm putting her in B. But when it comes to her doing her job, she's an A tier officer at that. But she's going to be belonging in B just from the versatility point of view. Moving on, we have got War Machine. Now, War Machine for me is a great officer, but he's not the best officer out there, but he is a free officer you can get without having to use your statues. You get him from the Alliance store, and he works on tanks. He works on infantry, kinda, and he works on artillery. So he works on all three units, especially at that early game. I did forget to put him on the early game list, and I would say early game list, he's an S tier, but moves down to a B tier when you start unlocking all of the others. So I apologize for anyone who is brand new to the game. I did miss him out. He is an S tier for you early early game. So early game, get him from the Alliance store. But even late game, you know, if you have him and you don't have enough officers for all your things. So mid game, he's still very, very good. And then slowly but surely, he'll be working his way down a list the more newer officers you end up awakening. Moving on, guys, we have got Lady Justice. Now, Lady Justice, from a versatility point of view, I think that she belongs in... I don't know if she belongs in A or if she belongs in B. Now, the thing is, she's a decent officer, but she focuses more towards tanks. But she works on, obviously, all of these will work on all three, just not that well. Some work better on all three than others. So, with that being said, I think she's a B tier because I wouldn't ever have her on my artillery. Maybe like last ditch resort should be on an artillery piece, and even in an infantry, she'll go on like your second or third infantry, probably your third infantry. There's definitely enough infantry officers out there for her to not need to be on your second one. But overall, guys, I think that, you know, she's okay. She's going to be sitting in B tier in my personal opinion. Now, I've pretty much gone through all of the versatile officers. Now, the ones that have the versatile tag. Now, there are two more I want to talk about when it comes to versatility, and it is just these two as well. I mean, they shouldn't be ranked up here, but if they were to go anywhere, it would be an A tier. They are tank officers, but their skills for their awakened skills are versatile. Hence why I kind of want to keep them in here. And the reason is, obviously, every single officer here has a versatile skill that works, and you can use it on skill training. The reason I'm putting them on the versatile list here is because their awakened skill, it's not just any old skill, it's their awakened and their most special skill, which is the fact that they give damage resist to base skills. They give damage resist to skill shots onto your base during a defense, and it is exceptionally good. Uncle has 40% and Stillfighter has 30%. So together they have 70% skill damage resist for your base during a defense. And that skill is versatile. It works on any unit. I have an artillery main account which doesn't even own a tank, and yet I still use both of these officers on that during defense situations. So with that being said, I've included them for that reason and that reason alone, but other than that, doesn't belong here. Now, I have missed one more versatile officer. Again, early game officer. I do apologize. I went through this list so many times and I just spotted it last moment. So here is the final officer, and I think he belongs in a B tier as well. He's a B tier officer. He's versatile with the fact that his skills work on everyone, but overall, he's pretty much an early game tank only. Early game, he would be probably A tier. He definitely wouldn't be S tier. You can get him from the Conquest store, but honestly, I feel like you just skill train one of his skills from the Conquest store, and that is it. You wouldn't awaken him. You would just grab one of his skills, and that's pretty much about it. Now, he's pretty much not even used. I don't even use him or any of his skills on any of my skill training. There is just much better out there. So, from that point of view, when it comes to versatility, early game, he's probably here, but, you know, even late game, I think he might even drop down to a C, maybe. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't even use his skill, but I do use, like, her skill. So, I guess from that point of view, I would need to do that, realistically. And I guess like that, because I feel like that's how it's going to have to be. I use these persons as skill training still. They still have relevancy to the list, but whereas he pretty much don't. But it feels bad, obviously, putting him down. So, I'm going to put it like that, personally. I'm going to keep it how it was. I don't know why. It feels weird when it comes to, like, using the officer itself, though. I feel like I have to judge the officer as a whole, not skill training. So, that's why we're going to keep it there. And last but not least, guys, we have got here the Arbitrator. Arbitrator is, from a versatility point of view, he's pretty much only good on infantry and on a tank, but what he does on that is still amazing. He's very, very strong. Definitely an S tier when it comes to having that versatility. He's more of a focused point. He's more of a just a tank in a base type officer, so you use him on your tank in a base. You can use him on your tank in a base, but other than that, he's not really used for anything else. Maybe in the field, kind of would still be pretty decent at drawing attention away from your main units, but I would definitely say that his priority is tanking bases. I appreciate you all tuning into today's video. The same with the previous ones. The link down below will be there, so you can grab it. You can reshape using these officers and do your own tier list, and I'd love you to post a screenshot of your versatile tier list over into the Discord. Obviously, I'd appreciate seeing everyone else's opinions on what their tier list is. As always, if you haven't done so, please think about hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. I haven't asked anyone to subscribe in a while. I'd appreciate if anyone who hasn't already done so could do that, and please share this video out to your members of your alliance and potentially friends that play the game. I appreciate you all. Hope everyone has a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone.